I don't have enough money for Taco Bell. All right, we're going to keep on looking at some of the rules regarding the attributes, and I've got something a little bit special later on today that I want to go over with you. It's about running a drow campaign, but here we go. We're going to do this first. The characters, Constitution encompasses a character's physique, fitness, health, and resistance. And I put in question mark parentheses to punishment. The character's beginning initial constitution score is also the maximum number of times a character can be raised from the dead or resurrected. Each such raise lowers that character's constitution score by 1 point permanently, probably barring the use of wishes. Only a wish perhaps could return life to that character after his allotment of deaths is over. His con score. Okay, I think a lot of people know this already, but then if you're a player just discovering the game, who knows? All right, here we go. This might be controversial to some of you. Hit point adjustment. Only fighters can get the +3 and +4 hit point adjustment of a high constitutional rating. If a character, however, were a fighter thief, level 4, he would still get the +4 hit point bonus because he's part fighter. Every time the thief part of him leveled up, however, only +2. So this right here was something new that I was going to do rather than the overall plus, probably +6 divided by 2 would have been +3, but I'm doing this a new way to give the players a little bit more hit points. So it's 1 die 10 +4 plus 1 die 6 +2, and then that score will be divided in half. Okay, each time then leveling up as a thief, 1 die 6 +2 divided by 2. And then each time leveling up as a fighter, 1 die 10 +4 divided by 2, and so on. Every other level, if this is an odd number, say this was +1 or +3, every other level, it would be, I think, it would be rounded up or down. So on an even level, it would be rounded up. On an odd level, you would be rounded down. In other words, say he rolled a 7 and you had +2, 9 divided by 2 would be either 5 or 4, depending upon the level gained. I hope that makes sense to you. At what times do we make a system shock survival check or roll? Answer: aging, magic, including ghost attacks, petrification attacks. This includes Medusa's Gaze or a stone to flesh spell, polymorphing any object, self, or others, unless it says so in the spell's description, any effect that reshapes or ages the character's body. Important to remember this as the game goes on. In some cases, this roll system shock can also be used to see if it retains consciousness in a particularly difficult situation. See the Player's Handbook, 2nd edition, page 15. Okay, resurrection survival is fairly straightforward and is only used when a character is raised from the dead or resurrected by a cleric/druid spell or magic item. Special rules of note, and this has really nothing to do with Constitution, but I'm going to read it for you here. Only non-multi-class fighters and rangers can have weapon specialization, and only warriors, fighter class only, can only get regular weapon specialization through Grand Mastery. This was added in one of the other hardcover books. I'm not going to cover it here, but to say that this really helps a fighter out and makes him less boring, yes. Yes, indeed. I will go over this at some point in the future. It's in the books. I've adjusted it for my game, to make it good for fighters, but not super powerful for fighters. In the original second edition Player's Handbook and in the first Player's Handbook, they had what they call double and triple specialization, I believe, and those are ridiculous. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to use that or not. That's up to you and your game. Every rule is considered optional. If you think it's something that you don't want to use, you don't want your players to use, as DM, it is your right to negate whatever you want from the game. And my players totally agree with me. We've been together for well over 20, 25 years. My current players, I would say. I've got older players that kind of weave their way in and out of the game, but for now, that's what's going on. Rangers can only get regular weapon specialization. They must practice their other skills and cannot meet this. Okay. And that's essentially it. You've got Constitution proficiencies, which is endurance and running. And what else did I write here? There might be some Constitution non-weapon proficiencies in the complete books as well, but I don't have any of those written down here. Those are for you to discover. All right, have a great day.